March 21st, 321. It is the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about NXT 2.0, 2.5, 2. Infinity. But we are here tonight on the road to Stand and Deliver. I am Glenn Rubenstein, joined by NYC Demon Diva Issa and Mr. Alfred Konuwa tonight to talk about everything going on in the world of NXT. So lovely to see you both.
Great to see you too, Glenn. We cannot bear the lead. That sweatshirt is fantastic.
Yeah,
best
you're
hoodie you've ever
in pink. I told you you would be. You are a vision in pink. I expect to see you nothing but pink from now on.
I will leave this here in the studio with my other repertoire, and I will see if Kangol makes a pink hat.
I was gonna say we gotta get that pink Kangol hat.
Oh my God, let's go! You are dripping. You're leaving puddles everywhere with that drip.
Yeah, it might have to be a fuzzy Kangol, but we'll see what I can do.
Oh my God, please make. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm here for all of this.
I will look into it. Okay, so before we dive into NXT tonight, we got a lot more build. Things are coming into shape for Stand and Deliver, coming into focus. Some of the matches that we're going to have. I think there's going to be some really, really good stuff on the card. I think we got a pretty good idea who our new North American champion is going to be.
Yeah.
Be shocked if it's not him. But before we dive into it all, Alfred, what's up in the news?
Well, let's start with our tribal chief for now, Louis Dangoor. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He's a good dude and a friend of the show. Louis Dangoor of Give Me Sport is reporting that Roman Reigns is expected to take a significant break following WrestleMania. The belief is that undisputed WWE Universal Champion could even be missing until SummerSlam in August. Wow. WrestleVotes, WWE Insider, added to this, saying that they are told that this is contingent on if or when Reigns eventually loses the titles. As of now, those plans are not certain. Issa, are you ready for a life after Roman? Tell me about it. Talk to me.
I mean, it sounds like I seen a lot of back and forward with this tweet. I saw WrestleVotes kind of making it sound like looks like Roman has something outside of wrestling going on. I'm hoping that Roman is not planning on John Cena / The Rock us, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't know because of what you said. It seems to be like based on whenever he loses the title, it sounds like he's gonna take some time off. It's got to be a very tiring job to carry the company for almost 1,000 days on your back. So I think it's a well-deserved break.
We'll see. What if he doesn't drop the title? What if he just takes the titles with him?
Don't what if.
Wow.
He just takes the titles with him, takes time off.
Just holds them hostage for 6 months. You think they can get away with that? I think that's the one thing that would get people to turn on this product.
Cody could bring back the winged belt, the winged eagle.
Oh, I think he will.
It's a different championship,
I can't
World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Let's do it. Roman champion forever. Well, until SummerSlam when Sami Zayn can beat him for both championships.
I could see WWE's already kind of setting up for, I don't know if it's life after Roman or life after the bloodline, but them last night were talking a lot about Jey Uso is going to turn on Roman. They had top babyface Sami say it. They had top babyface in the world Cody say it at the end of the night where he bided Roman Reigns about how Jay's going to turn on him. So I think that's what they're setting up. And I'd have no problem with the tribal chief going away, coming back at SummerSlam to take on, whether it's a Jey Uso, a Sami Zayn. Like, there's no panic mode in terms of Roman Reigns being away because they've already put the seeds in place in terms of the bloodline crumbling and then maybe Roman Reigns coming back to possibly save his empire one last stand. I'm here for whatever they have for Roman Reigns come SummerSlam.
We'll see. What if they all start following Sami Zayn and Sami Zayn is the new head of the table for the Bloodline 2.0?
A new bloodline. So we can't call it the bloodline. We got to call it something else. The ginger line.
It'd be good. I think it's the logical conclusion.
Issa's not here for that. Doesn't seem.
No.
But
it's exciting. It's exciting. WrestleMania, we're like a little over 10 days away. It's almost here.
Very close to WrestleMania. Very excited about it. And the odds are here. That's how you know WrestleMania is close. The odds have been posted by my guys over at Bet Online. And as we talk about how predictable wrestling is getting, a lot of the favorites are heavily favored. Roman Reigns, not the favorite, an underdog for the first time since his title reign began 2 years ago. He's an underdog to the great Cody Rhodes, who's minus 550. Rhea Ripley finally looks like she's going to get her moment against Charlotte Flair. Minus 1,000. That is a massive favorite. And then Brock Lesnar minus 1,500. Interesting enough, Sami and Kevin minus 2,000 to win the Universal Tag titles and end the Usos' reign. Of course, we have to look at the line movement. That's the thing. Where the lines open is one thing, but the line movement as we get later on toward the end of the card, days before, hours before even, the line will move. But right now, pretty solid, overwhelming favorites, Issa.
Yeah, it's been the same for a little while now. It hasn't. I mean, some of the numbers have changed, but the favorites to win have been persistent since some of these matches were made. We'll see what happens more closer to Mania, but yeah, that's been the case for a while. I think betting on wrestling is just as good as calling a 1-900 psychic line, which is my side gig apparently.
I mean, I feel like we've known the outcome of these matches since November of last year. Like what the Mania finish was going to be for a lot of these.
Have we?
I feel like it. I mean, well, but I
didn't even know Cody was going to be here. His little peg went pop.
No, I think we knew. But I mean, I want to be surprised. I actually would love it now if we just get some massive swerves. The real question is Dominic or Ray, who wins that match? Match of the weekend, potentially.
That is something that's subject to a surprise. I could see that going either way, but I'm completely fine, as we've spoken before, with predictable finishes. I mean, we've seen pop after big pop for things we all predicted was going to happen. Oh, Jay's going to turn heel. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. We've predicted all this stuff, and it happens, and people still go crazy over it. KO and Sami are going to reunite. That happened. It was predictable, and they liked it. So WWE right now, it's like sex in a healthy marriage. Predictable, but satisfying. And I have no problem with that.
That's what the ladies call you, Alfred Predictable Finish Konuwa.
Yeah, sex in a healthy marriage Konuwa. I'm the least toxic person ever.
Anyhow, what else is going on in the news?
Roxanne Perez is back. Roxanne Perez is back. Where there's a speculation that she might be injured, and that might be real, but that whole thing doesn't work. Not at work. There was some things going on behind the scenes, but she will be able to come back. Looks like for Stand and Deliver. So she's not going to be vacating this title anytime soon, Glenn.
It's tough, right? Because the money is in Tiffany Stratton winning and Roxanne chasing. That is a solid, that will carry the company for the foreseeable future in the women's title picture. I think Roxanne coming back and having her moment of triumph, where do you go from there? You know?
Yeah, that's always a question with especially with the babyface champion, but I think they have a lot of heel contenders that they can send her with. I think whoever turns heel between this Kiana James and Fallon Henley feud, which at this point, I don't know who's going to go heel, but I think either of them is going to spin off as a pretty hot heel. So maybe they could be the number one contender.
Well,
see, that's unpredictable.
Issa, what do the stars tell you about a Roxanne Perez championship reign when she retains the Stand and Deliver?
I don't know. Like you said, I don't see her losing. I do like the idea of Tiffany Stratton winning here, but the stars are just not sending me any signal right now. It's a cloudy night. So, you know.
I mean, Tiffany Stratton, they were really pushing her. I mean, I feel like ever since she's been back, her presence is just outshining everyone else. She's the biggest personality in the NXT women's division.
I think it's only a matter of time before we start getting graphics for Tiffany Epiphanies, where we're going to see like a light bulb pop up on her head.
So we'll see. But I think if she comes back and has that feel good moment, Stand and Deliver, I think it will be a really nice moment. But I'm not excited. I feel like we're like this was manufactured drama. Which is
I'm assuming that's all that it is wrestling, but I'm assuming that's all we were building. She recreated that infamous moment made by HBK just for a big babyface comeback as Stand and Deliver. That's what I was assuming they're going for. If something is going on with her, I just wish she's okay and that she gets better.
Which is weird too, because I mean Gigi Dolan is the cool babyface now in NXT, and it makes perfect sense that JC Jane's gonna come back, cost her that match by surprise, and then their feud will continue and build going forward. So I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling good about the pieces, but it's just really how they maneuver them to get us through to the next premium live event after Mania, which I'm assuming will probably be in June.
Yeah, probably well June or maybe before SummerSlam. I don't know when they're gonna plan on doing something like that.
Yeah. What else is going on in the news?
That is your news.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Alfred.
You're very welcome.
So let's talk about NXT tonight. We started the show. We got some recaps of what happened last week. We got teasers of tonight's show, but we really opened with Pretty Deadly out there saying stand and deliver again and again and again and again and again.
Really trying to get that over.
And it's close enough to the Adam Ant song, and they're British, so I'm just like, they're walking the line. They just need to. Neither of you familiar with Adam Ant or Stand and Deliver?
No.
But the lyrics, he's literally talking about he's the dandy highwayman. Like, it's Pretty Deadly needs to cover this as part of their hosting the show. It's tailor made for them, and Adam Ant's looks were above and beyond what Pretty Deadly have ever done even. So
what you're saying is we need Stand and Deliver the musical.
Yes, absolutely. And then they can also teach some kids math and trigonometry and calculus. So they can take the AP exam.
I like it. They're doing it with the Miz. I haven't seen that WrestleMania musical with the Miz, but I think a Stand and Deliver musical with Pretty Deadly would be fire.
Oh my God, they're so good, and they had so much charisma in that segment. Of course, they were interrupted by Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes.
The charisma vacuum.
Hell
yes.
The charisma. I thought you were going to say the charisma duo.
Well,
that would be more accurate.
I love the Pretty Deadly fit. By the way, you guys didn't bring it up, so I'll bring it up. This was excellent fit for both of them.
they look great, and I think they're going to do great hosting this show. But they've got to be on their way out of NXT. That's the only explanation for how they're being booked right now.
Right.
I'm kind of disappointed that they're in the hosting role because I was figuring this would be where they were peaking for Pretty Deadly to win those titles, but now they've gone completely heel. They're still playing the roles well, but I feel like this is way below where I expected them to possibly be.
Where do you expect them to be, Alfred?
Winning the tag team titles over Gallus, which should have never won the titles to begin with.
Tony and Stacks are going to win.
A big moment. That's fine too. That's good. I have no problem with the GOAT coming in. It's just very random.
That's fine. That's more than fine.
That's fine. That's Christmas and your birthday rolled into one, Alfred.
No. Him winning the world title would be Christmas and my birthday, and get this, in Kwanzaa rolled into one. But with just throwing them in there randomly while Pretty Deadly has to sit on the outside looking in while a lesser team is carrying their titles, to me, it's a little disappointing.
I could see with everything they're doing with the Maximum Male Models on Raw, I could see Chad Gable teaming up with Pretty Deadly to take on Otis and Maximum Male Models.
I love that. I love that booking.
Short term, it's great. Long term, they're screwed. But short term, it'll be phenomenal.
I mean, Chad Gable's one of those guys. He does remind me of Kurt Angle, not only because of his wrestling, but because of his personality. He's a very funny guy, and him and Pretty Deadly.
It'd be great.
That could be the people's champions right there.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have to go to SmackDown. You can't have them both on the same brand. Long term. But this was a good opening segment. Set up the main event tonight for the two contenders. Well,
very shocked when Trick Williams threw the swerve that it was going to be Braun and not him. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
I mean, so when Carmelo's champion, I mean, Trick's going to get to be like the main hype man. Like, that'll be cool. That'll be good for him.
Oh, they'll be a great act as champions. Carmelo is a great champion. It's one of those things that he did so well as North American champion, calling himself the A champion, and he made it seem like it was a world title. So imagine what he can do with the actual world title.
Yeah. Mia Lee, $4.99, saying, I love NXT. They're not scared to try things. The best women's division too. I don't want Dragon Lee to lose his first match, but I love Wesley too. Well, I mean, the Lees favor the Lees. I see how it is, Mia. But no, I think I'm confident that someone with the last name Lee, and it could be Mia Lee, could be NXT North American champion at the end of Stand and Deliver.
I love that. Let's go.
Battle for the Lees.
You heard
we should just have like a Forbidden Door pay-per-view where people just fight for last names. Like, we can take all of the cages in AEW, all of the pages in AEW. We'll take the Lees in NXT. People just fight over that. Like, that would be so awesome.
Well, they could do gimmicks too, like the Maximum Male Models versus Pretty Deadly. There could be only one.
Right.
Oh, there you go. House of Black versus Schism.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be incredible. Like, let's just thin the herd and narrow this down, you know?
Yeah.
So same thing with first names too. I don't like having multiple Adams in AEW. Like, let's just, let's narrow this down.
But
Also,
that's
you
fun
want
'cause
you want Adam Page to double book himself that night because there's plenty of Pages and there's plenty of Adam, so he'll be on multiple matches.
Oh yeah, he'll be the workhorse that night. I like the
Yeah.
"Let's go Adam, Adam sucks" chant. Those are a lot of fun.
This could be the best wrestling pay-per-view of all time. If we're just talking gimmicks and names and just narrowing it down, this could be incredible.
I'm here for it.
Yes. So that set up the main event. But yeah, great promo at the beginning. Then we had poor Indy Hartwell versus Tiffany Stratton qualifying for the NXT Women's Championship ladder match at Stand and Deliver. And you know what? This was an okay match. You didn't even have to watch the match to know that Tiffany Stratton was advancing this. Poor Indy Hartwell now in the name enhancement talent phase of her career.
Quick fix. I think everybody knows what it is. There's just one quick fix for this Indy Hartwell downward spiral. It's not a tag team or anything. It's Dexter Loomis. Both of them have struggled mightily without one another.
Johnny Gargano should be coming to NXT to rescue her.
Yeah.
And reunite the two of them. But Issa, what did you think of Tiffany Stratton getting this win?
I'm so happy with the push that Tiffany Stratton's getting. She looks like a star. She's got that it factor. I like the match. But yeah, predictable. But hey, healthy marriage.
Predictable finishes, baby.
So Creed and Gallus were playing pool at the pub. This sounds like the setup to a bad joke. And they were getting ready to leave, but then Tony and Stack showed up. And then went back inside to talk about Stand and Deliver business, which it looked like that. Like when they come back to this, we're talking about now, it was like the aftermath of like a bachelor party. Like what?
I want to know
there?
how much that tab was because Tony D offered to pay this tab. It was you can tell based on the aftermath that was an expensive tab.
Yeah. I think he walked out on it. I don't think he paid. I think it's nothing to have done.
This is going to be a good match, though, at Stand and Deliver, and I think Tony and Stacks are winning those titles.
They better. I can't wait. That'll be a good moment. I know I'm saying that it'd be better for Pretty Deadly, but to see Tony D finally get some gold is long over deserved, and it's going to be a great moment.
Absolutely.
They're actually telling a pretty good story between Tony D and Stacks, too. I thought they've done a good job building up Stacks as more than just Tony D's goon.
Yeah, I mean, let me say this. Stacks... Back when it was 2 Dimes and Stacks, it's very hard. You know, as Bette Midler once saying, it must have been hard there in his shadow to never feel sunlight on your face. He was content to let him shine. That's his way. But Stacks,
that was beautiful. Good.
It's really rising to the occasion.
Yeah.
Stacks is really, really not an equal, but I think Underboss is a fitting title. He has grown.
Oh, it's a perfect title for him, and he's fitting the role beautifully.
In fact, I'm going to say that he's gone from assistant 2 to the assistant regional manager.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. So I'm pleased as punch at the thought of them winning the tag team titles at Stand and Deliver. And I think that's the second time I've ever used that phrase, an expression here on this podcast.
Wow.
Punch is happy, and I'll be
Big
pleased
deal.
as it. Like the Kool-Aid man. With just a big smile on my face.
Oh, yeah.
Did Kool-Aid steal that from Macho Man? Or did Macho Man steal that from Kool-Aid?
Well, there was Pampero Firpo is the original person who said that, but I think Macho Man was before Kool-Aid. Yeah, I think Kool-Aid stole that from Macho Man. Might have like gimmick infringement.
Yeah. Immediately, $1.99, y'all see Tiff winning or Roxy popping up to win. I mean,
I see Roxy popping up to win. The benefit that you have is a ladder match. Nobody's getting pinned. So I don't think that Tiffany not walking away with the win is going to affect her in any kind of way. Like, it's not like she's got to pin her clean to win.
Yeah, and you could set up Tiffany versus Roxanne where Roxanne maybe cost Tiffany the match and she said she had it won. I hope they don't do a thing where Tiffany or Roxanne shows up at the last minute and wins, because that's like an anti-babyface thing to do in a ladder match. Hopefully she's able to compete from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think, you know what's working against Tiffany Stratton the most? And so she had a promo segment after this. Gigi Dolan was being interviewed. Tiffany Stratton interfered. Tiffany
had an epiphany.
Tiffany Epiphany. the what you say, the Tiffy top of the ladder. Yeah. The biggest thing working against Tiffany Stratton is actually the ghost of Mandy Rose, I think. because I can see them thinking that it's a little bit of a step backward to go back to having that sort of heel champion.
Yeah, and she's already getting comparisons. I've seen them around the media, the social media world.
Yeah, okay, so I get comparing them because they're both blondes, and that is aesthetically the same thing if you look at them. But these two characters are very, very different. I know they both play Mean Girls too.
Completely different.
Are they? Tiffany is doing like an impression, like an over-exaggerated impression of maybe what Mandy Rose is, where Tiffany is this like high school, high-pitched, almost like deliberate sociopathic mean girl, whereas Mandy Rose is just like the hot girl who doesn't have time for you.
I mean, they're both playing the sort of popular mean girl, a little materialistic. Sure. I mean, there are some similarities. I'm not just saying because they're both like blonde, attractive women. I mean, there are similarities to their characters, in as much as there are only so many different types of heels you can have. But sure, I mean, but types also matter. I think that aesthetically, I could see a little bit of a feared potential backlash.
I mean, I don't think it would be a backlash. And I think as long as creatively they do different things, it's funny because I think Tiffany should have a stable too, but I don't think it should be anything like Toxic Attraction. No. It should be a bunch of people, because she's spoiled. There should be a bunch of people taking care of her and all of her handlers around. So I think that would be completely different than what we saw with Toxic Attraction. But then again, that's a great point in terms of the ghost of Mandy Rose, of people maybe getting fatigued. I just don't think it would be fair because Tiffany's a great performer. And I think she can give everybody something completely different.
And by the way, I wanted Tiffany to be champ back when Mandy Rose was still with the company. I'm just saying I could see them getting up in their heads about how they're booking this too much. But what I really don't want, I just don't want another 300+ day championship reign for any title in NXT, men's, women's. It is too predictable. And I'm saying we need to spice up the marriage, HBK. Like let's try some new things. Maybe involve some other people in the mix.
Wow, so you want them to be swingers, an open marriage? What are you suggesting here?
Just saying, let's open things up a little bit. And if we truly love each other and have a true connective bond, that will keep us together. Despite I think we should all the other outside interference.
Open up this marriage, be swingers, start passing around that title. I like it. Everybody gets a turn.
Everybody puts not get married at all.
That too.
What's wrong with just dating, Sean? Yeah. Everybody puts their keys in a bowl, and at the end of never mind. So
that's what happens at the end, Glenn.
No, Glenn, please. I want to know.
Who knows what key? Maybe you get to drive someone else's car at the end of the night because you take their keys and they take your keys, and then the next day we can all trade cars back and everything's cool. But you had that night of driving another car and wasn't that exciting?
Wow. What kind of car would you want to switch to, Glenn?
Ooh.
For one night?
I mean, I do like that Ford Bronco Cyber Orange, the new one. Like that's a pretty sick looking car. Yeah, I don't want to drive that day to day because that'll get stolen. Like that car attracts too much attention. But I'm just saying.
So you're looking for horsepower in your marriage.
I want to go off road. I want to go off road. I want the Cyber. I want to take the top off and the doors off and just really,
Wow.
Yeah, get dirty with it,
Filthy.
Oh, anyhow. So we had Wesley's first stand and deliver, opponent delivered, and I think if you don't even watch NXT, the fact that Dragon Lee was Dragon Lee's winning this match.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, Wesley's had it for long enough, and I was very encouraged by the massive pop Dragon Lee got because they showed him on TV that night that Shawn Michaels came back, and they didn't make a big deal about it when they did show him. I don't think people knew who he was that night, but this time around, huge pop, and yeah, I do think he's winning as well.
Yeah, but it was good to see him. It was nice to hear the reaction. I think this match is gonna be a banger.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! So it's going to be JD McDonough, Dragunov.
Pull up to the arena in a Ford Bronco.
I mean, honestly, okay. So JD McDonough, Dragunov, Wesley, Dragon Lee, and then a fifth spot to be determined. And this could be a ladder match.
It's obviously going to be Jinder.
One of those giants.
I probably Mr. Hard Justice. I think Axiom would be great, but I think
All right,
Hard
question.
Justice-
But if it's Axiom, are you gonna get annoyed that they went through all this and made the battle royal when they've been teasing that it's gonna be Axiom anyways? Just add him tonight and have a different segment next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope they do better than that.
Oh, Glenn, what have you started?
We really got to watch it with the analogies sometimes on this show.
That's what the people want.
Yes, that's our brand.
Yeah.
But this match, okay, from just a fan of pure wrestling, I mean, story, whatever. In fact, I don't even know that the story of this actually makes Wesley kind of look like an idiot. It's like, I'm going to pick 4 people to challenge me because I want to give opportunities. So I'm going to pick I've already picked 3 people that could legitimately kick the shit out of me.
Yeah, he's so proud of himself too. He's like, the chaos continues. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he could be like, I mean, who should he pick? I want Big Body Javi. And
oh God, don't get me started on
I
him
want
tonight.
Hank Walker. And
Wanker. Wanker got a pretty good lengthy video package tonight.
Yeah,
they're doing some character development with Wanker.
What's Roderick Strong up to?
Where is he?
What about Quincy? Yeah, what about Quincy? Wes should be really putting together an opportunity match for people that he knows he can beat. But this match is from just a pure wrestling point of view, this match is going to be absolute fire. I'm gonna call now. This could be the best
Don't even
bell to
go
bell.
there.
No, this could be the best bell to bell wrestling match of
the weekend.
It could be.
Yeah.
Of the whole weekend.
Of the whole weekend.
I can see they've got the talent for it in terms of pure wrestling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pure wrestling. And you know what I'm gonna say?
Are you talking the whole weekend, include every event, or are you talking the
Ring
whole
of
weekend
Honor.
WWE?
Actually, this feels like the most AEW match that's going to be on the WWE card that weekend.
This is so true. This is so true. I was thinking that too when it was getting booked tonight.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is going to be so good. Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal. Just, I think, again, screw the storyline. Storyline makes 0 sense at this point. But this match could be awesome, and Dragon Lee's going to win.
Yeah.
John Jordan. What? John Jordan, $5. Detective Alfred. Did you stuff out the interesting verbiage behind FTR's recent quote-unquote decision announcement yet? Inquiring minds want to know. # Twitter fingers.
Shouts to John Jordan, friend of the show. FTR has been going on Twitter and teasing that they could be leaving AEW, talking about their contract being up. They've been saying, I'll never forget what AEW has done. So you can see it going either way. I think the move is to go to WWE and Raw after Mania, or as soon as possible in April, to show up and maybe whether it's win the tag titles or get a fresh coat of paint. But from what it sounds like they might be staying in terms of all the little teases they do. They just want people talking about them, but they did show back up on AEW TV recently. I'm still holding out hope they show up in WWE. I think it's time to leave the territory for FTR.
Wow.
But John Jordan, let us know the verbiage. He seems to feel that he knows the answer, that he's seen something that maybe we missed.
Yes. Well, speaking of which, NXT Anonymous was backstage seeing Indy Hartwell freaking out.
Yeah, she was very upset. And are we going to pay off this NXT Anonymous, or is this just the way that
it's just going to keep going.
I mean, this is going to be like the hacker or the Anonymous Raw GM.
Yeah. GTV, which turned out to be Goldust.
I mean, it actually makes sense if it was Stevie with her streaming and everything. They could tie it in. It would have made sense if it was Scripps, but what's happening with Scripps in the mask battle and everything that was teased last week in that promo?
I don't know, because he kind of came out in the chaos, so maybe he'll be in the battle royal next week.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe
I could see
unmask Axiom. We'll see. But then Fallon and Kiana were backstage.
Oh my God, the drama here.
Yeah, they're losing those titles.
1000%.
No answer on who Sebastian is.
Yeah, no, but she did say that later on that she needed to tell him herself.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Glenn? Did she switch keys with someone or not?
Perhaps.
This is a storyline which, for all the predictability, this is very unpredictable. I like what they've done. I found myself going back and forth. I still don't trust Kiana James, But now the way that they're telling the story, they're making Fallon Henley seem like she's being messy, which she is. She's going into the woman's office. I'm not rooting for Fallon Henley to be right here, but it does seem that there's some swerve in place.
Last week was the high point with the breaking in the office and the camo gear and all that. Like that was
great.
Probably as good as this is going to get, but we'll see. But yeah, they are losing those championships. Then we had Dragunov and McDonough in a match that ended in double DQ, which sets them up for the ladder match. Stand and deliver. I mean, this was a good preview. So take these two guys, involve Dragon Lee, involve Wesley, involve a fifth, and put a ladder in there. And I think it's going to be dope.
Yeah, I agree. I am very excited for Stand and Deliver. Very excited. They're building up a great card.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic card.
More evidence of how do you know Dragon Lee's winning this match? Dragon Lee was sitting ringside at this match, and I swear to God, they talked more about Dragon Lee than anyone in the actual match.
Yeah, and it's a shame because this is a hell of a match.
It was very good.
I know. My God, JD, every time the bell rings, like he's on a different level. I just really enjoy his matches. I still find him very creepy. I hope that he Ubers to the party. Doesn't bring any keys because but his matches and Dragunov so good. I really enjoyed this. I think I don't know, there's a lot of matches that I'm looking forward to, but this is gonna be a banger. I like the Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller storyline. If I had to pick a favorite out of everything going into it.
Well, tonight Big Body Javi getting that heat.
That was such a ripoff.
Yeah, because they popped huge and they were pissed when it wasn't Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
I think I'll be kind and say of the lesser NXT gimmicks, I think Big Body Javi might be my favorite.
Oh, 100%. I love
Big Body wrestling tonight.
Yeah. Nobody does more with less than Big Body Javi. Like, at first, it was kind of quirky and weird, but I think he gets better, and he's very funny.
Yes. So he came out, but Gargano came out then and got into it a bit with him. But he's going to have an unsanctioned match against Grayson Waller at Stand and Deliver. Why do they have to sign a contract if this is unsanctioned?
Yeah, are they signing away their rights? Are they signing the waiver? Maybe they could be a waiver agreement.
Maybe. Yeah. But Johnny can't be in the building when Grayson signs that next week.
Right.
Are they taping that tonight? Or are they going to do that in Florida and then go out Wednesday?
That's a good question. I think they're doing it next week, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see. But good promo segment.
Grayson Waller was wearing a Candice LeRae shirt.
Yeah, what a troll.
So good.
He's so good. But he's got to get out of NXT. This has got to be it for him.
Who knows? No, I think there's still more he could do in NXT, especially because he hasn't won the world title yet. Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, the fact
I think he'd be a really good heel champion.
He would be, except though, I mean, think about how long ago it was that Johnny Gargano left NXT, and Grayson was the one that.
Right.
I mean, Grayson's been there a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either because he's young and he's still got to learn a lot of things. They shouldn't be rushing people to the main roster. I think was a problem with a lot of people who would have made it, among other things, with the old era and with NXT, especially because the emphasis is on developmental. The longer you stay there and the more that they focus on that, I think the better they'll be when they're on the main roster.
Dylan Matthews saying that Grayson Waller is WWE's counter solution to MJF.
No,
they're all Miz babies. Miz will never, because the internet wrestling community is so conducive to wrestling.
Right.
Miz will never get the credit he deserves as one of the most influential wrestlers of the modern era. I know he was influenced and stuff, but a lot of people, the way they do their characters, it's direct ripoff of the Miz.
Can we get Miz Babies as an animated series on Peacock and have the Miz like with Grayson Waller and just like coaching all the Miz Babies?
Like with Muppet Babies.
If we do the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, we were talking about, you know how many people the Miz will have to wrestle?
The Miz will be like Iron Man.
It's going to be a freaking Royal Rumble match. 30 contenders coming in, all trying to copy the Miz.
Fernando Perez, $1.99, saying, Isa, yo tengo mis tequilas para Backlash.
Is that what it says?
I saw tequilas.
It says, Isa, ya tengo mis taquillas para Backlash. Qué alegría, Fernando. Felicidades. Allí te veo.
I'm working on it. I'm working on the pronunciation.
And Fernando got his Backlash tickets. Let's go.
Yeah, Backlash the night before.
Live from Puerto Rico. Just in case you guys didn't know.
It's going to be great. looking forward to that. Lyra Valkyra had a promo earlier. They're really making her look like a superhero with the original Wonder Woman type promo that she had, and then this one running up through the abandoned building and looking out over the city.
She could just use a Stairmaster at a gym. You know, like she don't have to put herself through that much danger.
I mean, she's not writing in a journal like Apollo, but you know. So she had a nice little promo. And we also had a promo video for Eddie Thorpe, and I swear to God, like, man, they're just trying to cater to me. He's gonna have a DJ gimmick, like
very EDM.
This could be terrible, yet it could also be my new favorite thing.
I hope he shows up strung out on MDMA.
That would be
hard here.
He doesn't show up hungover and just be like, "Oh, I was out last night. The set went really long."
Yeah.
Eddie Thorpe. Everybody follow Eddie Thorpe. It says he's a DJ producer from Orlando. The Alpha Wolf is on his bio. Yeah, Eddie, I'm pulling for you because I'm
looking forward to this.
Yeah, this could be horrible, but again, it could also be my favorite thing on NXT.
What if this is Von Wagner's new gimmick and this he comes back as a DJ?
And what they should just do, well, they should have it with like the soundboard. They should just have it with the sampler, you know, and like during the promo, Vaughn can just hit different things, you know.
I think Vaughn would be great in that role.
Yeah, I think it could be on, you know, or he could be the hype man for Eddie, you know.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
yeah.
You could ad lib,
just with all sound clips.
Yeah.
You know, so looking forward to that next week. Could be the hottest thing in NXT. So Lyra Valkyra took on Ivy. What, man, Ivy, who's got it worse? Like Ivy or Indy? Ivy and Indy should have a match of like who's got it worse in NXT at this point.
Indy. I think Indy, because Indy was put in very prominent storylines in the past where Ivy has always been like in the background with Diamond Mine. We've seen Indy being main event or segments, that wedding segment. Like I feel like Indy has it a little bit worse just because they put more of a spotlight on her that they ever have on Ivy now. But Ivy has that it factor and they just don't know what to do with it. Just keep booking her to lose.
Dream Realm saying Uncle Rubenstein's going to kill Ed's career like he did Scripps and Howdy.
No, this will be another Tony D.
Living my truth.
Not
and she's
always.
Her too. She's cursed too. It's a curse of Uncle Glenn.
Oh my God.
It's like the Madden curse.
Oh my God.
Tony D'Angelo, wow, Tony and Stacks, you're our only hope.
Can you do me a favor and predict that Roman Reigns wins at WrestleMania?
No, please do not say it, Glenn. Do not freaking say it. No, Glenn.
There's still a chance Sammy gets added to that match. We got 10 days to go.
He has his own match now, Glenn.
He could wrestle both nights. What? You know?
I love it. I like the determination, Glenn. Very admirable.
But until that final 3 count hits, I'm gonna be like, Sammy could show up and win this.
He can cash in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. But good on Lyra Valkyra. She's getting that opportunity to get out of the match. Okay, so they're modifying this, and I like how they're doing this. I thought originally it was going to be Thea Hale versus Ava Raine, but now it's turning into Schism and Chase U. Yeah. And Chase U is putting the school on the line. Now, I still predict Thea Hale is going to get that pin on Ava because that's the feel-good moment of triumph. Yeah, why not? If it's mixed, if they mix it up, if they have
No way, Glenn. What's wrong with you?
What, you think they're going to lose the school?
Yeah.
Wait,
I think Ava gets the pin.
You're playing into it. You're predicting the opposite because you curse things. Okay, I get it. Okay, Glenn, I get it. There is no way that Ava is losing her first match and taking the pin. Maybe there's a chance, and I don't see it happening. I see Schism winning here without a doubt. But even if she's not taking the pin, I'm sorry, there's no feel-good moment here. This is the Rock's kid, Glenn. We're not talking about just anybody.
Well, what's Schism going to do with Chase U? Yeah.
Who are they? Shazam? They're not Shazam. They have nothing to do with that T. You see that, though? There's
No,
some
what
drama
happened?
going on with The Rock. Something about he didn't want to work with the people from this movie, or like he
Oh
didn't want
yes,
them
with
to be
Black
in the
Adam.
post credit, and now people feel like that's what cursed both movies. And I was like, no, maybe both movies were cursed because they sucked. Like, have you all stopped and thought about that? You know, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think Duke. Well, I think Duke is going to turn, but I think Tyler Bate is going to still save the match after what he did in that debate. And the debate, this was a very fun gimmick. They can't kill Chase U. I mean, like, Chase U has still got so much mileage in it. Schism has actually never been over, ever. And it was better when it was Joe Gacy talking crazy in on the grassy knoll. Like, they're not going to sacrifice Chase U to Schism with the school on the line. Like, that's absurd.
I don't think they're going to sacrifice a whole gimmick. I think eventually Chase U will regain control of it, or at least I hope. I hope this isn't the end, but I do think for a while, Schism is going to take over, and it's going to turn into a remedial school for juvenile delinquents.
1000%.
Oh
I
my
agree
God.
with Alfred on this one. I don't see Schism losing here. There's a lot at stake here.
But this feud also has to end. This feud has been going on for the better part of my 40s. Like, this feud is way past its expiration date.
Because they want to go into they wanted to do a mixed tag, you know, protect whoever they need to protect, and that's the only team that matches up with them right now. So as far as members, you know, factions wise.
Now, what if Thea Hale pins Ava Raine and then Vin Diesel comes out and lifts Thea's arm?
I like that finish.
And then calls out The Rock to set up a match for next year at Mania.
And then The Rock shows up to fight Vin Diesel because he's scared of Roman, but not Vin Diesel. Yeah. I
mean, we've said this before. If Ava's wrestling, if they're doing this into mixed gender,
you think Ava versus The Rock, like Dominic and Ray?
Actually, oh yeah.
Let's go.
But if Ava's on this card and wrestling on this card, how hilarious will it be if The Rock shows up for that match and is there in the audience and then just like ghosts Mania weekend for the rest of the time?
He'll show up. He'll be there.
That'll be weird if The Rock is there and he's just backstage for moral support. I mean, if he comes, they're gonna want him to make an appearance in front of the crowd.
But backstage, he's gonna be pouring Toromana on everybody that attends. There's gonna be like not a lot of people there, so it's gonna be giving everybody a shot. So that way, when they win, they can all do the shot. It's gonna be great.
If he shows up and
I mean, the crowd like John Cena on WrestleMania 34.
I was gonna say he has a wig on, so you can't tell. What if he's like Enzo and he's there incognito?
Yeah, because he's such an unrecognizable person.
Yeah, he's gonna be sitting there like blocking like the first 3 seats behind him
with the wig on. That is definitely not The Rock.
And he tells everyone he's Dave Bautista. It could happen. But this debate segment was very, very fun and clever.
Tyler Bate was awesome here.
Yeah. I want him to join Chase U.
Oh, I think he is. We're gonna get it. I think he's going to save it when Duke turns. Duke turning is still part of the story. I just don't think they're going to lose the school.
Wow, I feel like you're judging Duke based on his debate skills. That's horrible.
Yeah, he was an awful. He's checked out right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would be weird is if Duke Hudson goes to the Schism, which they tease. So that's like in the span of a year, 3 completely. He's like becoming the new Kane, where he's like, you have to be a poker dealer, then you've got to be a Chase U student, and now you're gonna go and be.
Don't forget, he shaved. Didn't he shave his head in between too with that feud with Cameron Grimes? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, man.
Schism will start playing poker. It'll be great.
Yeah.
He never spoke enough in poker metaphors about how life is like a game of poker. That was what was holding him back. We needed more of that.
Gotta hold all your cards.
Yes.
You gotta
no one to hold them, no one to fold them. I just came up with that.
Did you? Wow, that's amazing. Man.
So the main event tonight was Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes versus Pretty Deadly. And the
fun match.
Yeah, and the babyface is getting the win, but a very fun match.
I liked it a lot. I like the story of Trick Williams set this up so that Carmelo Hayes can get a bird's eye view or whatnot, and they used that in the match. And I thought it was a good match. And I expected it to be, and it just made me more excited. Okay, I have not liked the build of Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes because they're doing the mutual respect. Even though Hayes isn't, I mean, I guess he's still a heel, but it doesn't look like it now. But they're doing the mutual respect thing, which I haven't liked. I think it's lazy whenever they do that. But the match is going to be really good.
Enough for the mutual
I
respect.
really enjoyed Braun and Carmelo as a team, though.
Yeah.
Plot twist. I actually really liked them. I thought they worked very well together. Carmelo Hayes is so talented. I really hope that he goes over as Stand and Deliver. I think he deserves to have a run as NXT World Champ.
Yeah, it's time.
He's our last hope. Save us from Alfred's favorite NXT champion, Braun Breaker.
Not favorite of all time, but he's the best NXT champion going. That's for sure. And he's got a big future. I mean, whenever he goes on the main roster, it's all set up for him.
He's got that dog in him.
He does have that dog in him.
It's important. It's important. They were not on the same page. One went for a fist bump, one went for a high five. What are they trying to do?
They can't coexist, Glenn.
They can't coexist.
Oh my God, I popped for
that.
I know. I was just gonna say I popped for Carmelo Hayes bringing that up backstage, like just completely breaking the fourth wall, saying, "I'm not doing the coexisting thing," and I was like, "Yes."
That was awesome.
Yeah.
My first NXT live event, Enzo Cass and Carmella came out. I was on the ramp side. Carmella went to give me a high five, and I went for the fist bump. Then she went for the fist bump, and I went for the high five.
Oh,
so there's very, very much shades of that tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
I think about that. I think about that at least like once a week.
I'm going to think about it once a week.
Yeah. Such a cringe moment. Such a cringe moment, you know?
One of my New Year's resolutions one year was I'm fist bumping every time. I'm not going to run into that. I'm just fist bumping everybody. But then when you see somebody go for the handshake, you just, you know.
Here's what I want to know. What happened to the low five? When I was growing up, there was the high five and there was the low five. Now, here's what I think happened. There used to be the up top, down low, and then when someone go down low, you pull your hand away and say, "Ha, too slow." The too slow people fucked up the low five. And that's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Because you're tricks. When I'm in charge, exclusively low fives. Bringing it back.
Low-fying anybody.
What about people with bad knees, like knee issues, arthritic knees, and they can't get down low?
You don't have to
say hi to anybody?
Then how low do you want them to go, Alfred?
Yeah, but you know what? I've known people like that. I know people that do the low five, like really, like way too, like they're in a catcher squat or something, like down low.
And that's what I picture.
Yeah,
Alfred is over here, like, drop it like it's hollow. Like, no, Alfred, chill.
You get down, get a nice little catcher stance, and you come back up.
Yeah, but bring back the low five. You know what else screwed everything up? You know, forget this war on Christmas thing. Forget people like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. Here's where society went to hell. It used to be, have a good day, have a good evening. Now,
have a good one.
Yes, have a good one. That's when it all went to hell. When we couldn't even start specifying, we couldn't even take the energy to look at a clock.
Because you don't know what if you don't know what time zone they're originally from.
I'm talking at
Have
Starbucks.
A good one covers all the.
We're there together. The time zones. There's a clock right there.
Right. What if I'm traveling? What if I'm traveling and that's not my usual time zone?
You can still say have a good day, have a good evening. Even if it's evening, have a good rest of your night. You can specify, but have a good one says to me you don't even care. You're not even thinking about this.
You don't know what I'm about to do.
You know?
You know what? I'm not gonna say anything at all.
You don't know whose car I'm driving tonight. You don't know what's going on.
What about bye? Just bye. You don't even have to tell them to have a good thing. Just
have a good one.
Deuces.
Deuces. I like that's what I use.
Not bye. Not take it easy, or not take it easy. Not see you later. Not thanks for your patronage. Just bye.
Hasta la vista.
Actually, I have a completely random, but I have a Yankees hat that one of my nephews got me for. It was a gift, but it's got engraved on the side. This kid goes to buy a hat, and he gives engraved on the side the terms "Bye me fui," which is "Bye I'm out," because that's how I always hang up on them, or when I leave the room, or like because I'm rude like that. So they engraved my hat to remind me how rude I am. Great, love my family. It's not a friendly term. "Bye me fui," like I'm out, but in a you guys figure it out kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong. We have a good one.
I mean, you're wishing somebody well. You're just not specifying what it is.
I just don't even understand why we have to say it. It's not like we're going out into the world every day to hope to have a bad one. Like, it's obvious. Well, there's a good morning, a good night. That's what you're hoping for. Are you out there wishing to be miserable? So I don't see the need to wish people to have a good day. That's what they're trying to do. I hope you win $1 million. I wish them something good. Don't wish them the obvious.
You're very relaxed. Do you refuse to use the usted form with people? Because you're like, I give no one formal treatment. Everyone's the informal and personal. No usteds for anyone.
I don't talk to anybody, Glenn.
¿Y
It's even easier.
Yeah. But Duke Hudson will be shook at my poker face.
He'd lose all of his money to Issa.
Oh my God. So NXT tonight, I'm pretty stoked about Stand and Deliver. This is looking like a really good card.
It'll be dope. I might pull up, but we'll see. It'll be
you know what? I'm gonna start saying, hold on. I'm gonna start saying nice car, just in case they're driving somebody else's car. That's what I'm gonna start telling people. So they don't regret that decision.
And they think you're being sarcastic, you know? They're like, don't appreciate your sarcasm. I know it's old. Oh my God.
So are you gonna come down for NXT Stand and Deliver, Glenn?
Well, you know, I drive quite an old car. I've actually
switched cars the night before.
Yeah, I've actually had my truck longer than I've known my wife. Even that's how old my truck is.
You can rent a car, Glenn.
That's true. I could. I wish it was outdoor. If it was outdoors, I would 100% be there.
Oh my God, Glenn! Stop thinking about it and just show up.
Let's go, Glenn.
Yeah, your two best friends are gonna be there. If you show up, me and Alfred will pull up.
Why aren't you guys coming to SmackDown in Vegas next week?
That's next week?
Yeah, next Friday.
Wait, the Friday before
Mania.
It's in
Or
Vegas?
no, it's this Friday. No, it's this Friday. This Friday.
Yeah,
This Friday's in Vegas. Why aren't you in Vegas this Friday?
Because I'm not in LA. If I was in LA, I would drive it.
I can't make it.
I'm not like you. I'm not afraid. You know, so you should. If you pull up, me and Alfred will pull up. I think the shop would love to see the three of us together. It'll be incredible.
Be a very special moment, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
We will have our moment, and maybe I'll be wearing pink. It'll be lovely.
Well, you should.
You know he's gonna make us wait until like Double or Nothing or something like that, right, Alfred? Like he's gonna make us come to him. It's not like I'm flying from Puerto Rico all the way to LA. He just has to drive. You know, just throwing that out there.
Okay,
we have a week. We have a week to convince him.
The drive to LA from Vegas is deceivingly tedious.
Yeah,
because there's a whole lot of nothing.
I know. I done it.
Nothing. Yeah,
it's fine. It's a drive. Like what you want, like fully entertainment. You want projectors the entire freaking way with different movies.
Oh my
playing?
God! Remember as a kid when you used to drive by a drive-in and you could like see the movie? That was like one of the high points of my young life as a kid. It's supposed to be an R-rated movie, but like, oh, I saw boobs from my parents' car while we were stuck in traffic.
Glenn, if you come, thank you, baby. If you come after the show, I will tell you, have a nice day. Or have a nice evening.
Whatever time of day it is.
Whatever time it is, I will promise. I'll compliment your car. Whatever it takes.
I'll specify the time. I'll say have a nice 7:36.
That seems a little too short term. You know, I'd like it a little more open-ended than that.
Look at everybody in the chat is saying they would love to see us together.
We'll see what we can make happen. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can meet up somewhere outside.
That's better than I know.
Maybe we can meet up outside somewhere.
Okay. Let's figure it out. Let's make it happen.
I don't even know if we're covering Stand and Deliver. I mean, last year we had to talk about it as part of Mania Night 1. So I don't know what the plan is. I don't know. We'll find out. I guess if you guys are there and you have to go to Mania, I guess we are not covering Stand and Deliver live after Stand and Deliver.
You can cover it on your own, Glenn.
Oh
no, because you're gonna be there too.
Well, you know what we've avoided in the entire history of this podcast? We've never had to have a show where somebody was off screen for more than like 5 minutes. Could you imagine any of the three of us having to do an entire recap, or probably about 20 minutes? But could you imagine having to do a 20-minute recap on your own?
If you had the soundboard, you could just use our, some drops. Use the Butch drop or something.
Right.
Oh, I've been meaning to do that. I can make it like Matt Morgan still on the podcast. I could just put together like what's next? Oh, love these guys. Could watch them wrestle all day. What's her face? Old girl. She's terrific. I could just get all the Matt drops and be like, he's still here. Yeah, soundboard. That'd be the key. It's weird we're still on the air. The way we're talking, I was like, oh, no, wait, we're still on the air. The audience is still here. These are the type of conversations we have.
Have off air.
This is exactly what we're talking about off air. Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. NXT, the most consistently entertaining wrestling television
There's
show.
something for everybody. Also, make sure you tweet at Glenn Rubenstein and let him know that he should pull up to Stand and Deliver.
Hey, and Eddie Thorpe is following me. Our favorite new wrestler is following me on Twitter.
Tell him to pull up.
Wow.
So maybe he could DJ.
Yes.
I'm so looking forward to this gimmick.
I love it.
Okay, follow Alfred at This Is Nasty. Follow Issa at NYC Demon Diva. That's Steve with a 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Sometime this weekend, Yellow Jackets Buzz.
Oh my God, I can't
with
wait.
Issa and I is coming back for season 2. Paramount Showtime won't send us screeners, so we have to wait till it drops live, and then
and we have another project. We're just figuring it out.
We do. If you like hearing me butcher the Spanish language, you are going to love our new podcast.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Gonna be so good. Have a good one. Have a good one, everyone.
Yeah.
You said it.
You said it.
I don't know what time they're gonna be listening to this podcast. Okay. In the future, have a good morning, evening, or let's just say rest of your day and the day after that.
And
we'll catch you back here. And nice car.
car.
Try not to scratch it. We'll catch you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.